position is the ground is totally
sorry guys.
The ground is totally owned by Thunder Mountain Gold. There's no debt. The company has no debt. So that's why we can hold on to it forever until we get a position that we're comfortable with as far as going forward.
36 million for the public. It's not that.
No, it's not. But you got to understand, mining companies. Okay, if I had
That's
a
good thing. That's a great thing.
no, if I had $1 billion sitting here, do you think I could get it alone? No. If I put it out there in the ground, I mean that's the nature of it is.
Sorry, it ends every time. Paul, just keep going like crazy. Okay, BitMeister, can you hear me, my brother?
Yeah. How you doing?
Okay, hang on one second. I'll introduce you. So, guys, this is one of the most enthusiastic Bitcoin evangelists we have in the space. He's traveled all over the globe. Please give a big round of applause for the BitMeister.
Yes, yes. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Hello, everyone. How you doing?
Everybody's doing great, my brother. We're ready to get learnt. Give us the education. We're ready.
Well, I mean, what do you want to know? What specific thing? I mean, I can go on for hours upon hours. I don't want to. I'm happy to be talking to people in Boise. I've been to Boise before. I thought it was really a lovely place. Really, I'm environmentally friendly. People doing healthy things. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland originally, so that's kind of like the opposite of Boise. It's you do unhealthy things, and it's not really safe to walk around. But yeah, I've got a big Bitcoin channel here on YouTube. Maybe a couple of you've seen it. And I'm just trying to spread the word, get people into it, just keep people up on current events. And most important, kind of combat some of the fear and the uncertainty and the doubt that kind of hangs around the cryptocurrency market. There's so many conspiracy theories and just like the government controls Bitcoin, all of these things that kind of scare people away from Bitcoin, get them to sell their Bitcoin and get them to be very regretful. So I try to keep it positive, but I try to keep it very simple also. My strategy is just buy and hold Bitcoin. That's it. Buy and hold Bitcoin. That's what I do. I don't try to trade it. I don't try to flip it. I don't get into the ICOs or anything like that. And the strategy has paid off nicely. I mean, I've been buying and holding Bitcoin since 2013. So it's been a great adventure. And just sticking to my guns, sticking to what I believe in, sticking to my principles has really paid off and grown the channel. And just, I'm traveling all around. This is like my job now, basically.
Okay. So for my first question I've got for you, if we want to start a Bitcoin business, what country offers the best opportunity? What country has the best regulation or lack of regulation? Where should we go and where should we avoid if we really want to get aggressive Bitcoin from an entrepreneurial point of view?
I mean, Singapore probably, but you have to take into account the state of Idaho is a fine place to do it in because you don't have any. I was going to say the United States is pretty good, but not New York. Not California. Well, not New York, definitely. And California has thought of some pretty weird regulations too. I mean, a Mountain West state like Montana, probably. But so Australia is a good place. Australia is a good place also. But if you want the comforts of home, it's not like a bad thing to start one out in Idaho or Montana or states other than New York.
Okay, so then of course we saw that we had the fork, and everybody talked about Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin. Do you want to broach the subject and tell us?
Yeah, definitely. This is an important subject because there's only one Bitcoin. There's only going to be one Bitcoin. It forked. I deal with people. I have clients. I advise people on holding their Bitcoin. There's all these people who are into gold and silver, precious metals. People who are in their 50s, 60s, they're not technologically advanced at all, okay? And that's great. It's beautiful. They come to me. I help them set up their Trezor. I tell them some things about Bitcoin. They don't know the first thing about SegWit or hard forks. Care less. Most people could care less. We're in a little bubble where people are trying to analyze every little bit, every little teeny minutia of it all. And that little bubble is maybe like 1% of the whole Bitcoin community, and we all know each other. It's ridiculous. The majority, I mean, there's a big silent, I wouldn't call them a silent majority, but a huge chunk of people who just want to buy it and put it away, treat it like gold, and just forget about it. They're savers also. So this whole hard fork thing, they don't know about it. And then when they do know about it, they're like, well, wait a sec, I'm getting some free stuff off of this. I want my free stuff. So I kind of developed this new theory. Like at first, people were like, these forks are going to be very confusing. They're just going to be bad. But now I see that they're great because all they are is a unique way of forming an altcoin and distributing it for free to all the people who hold Bitcoin. So it makes holding Bitcoin much more lucrative. They are nothing but crypto dividends. That is my new term. That's what I've been spreading around the whole internet. The Bcash is a crypto dividend. The 2x one that's coming later is a crypto dividend. And guess what? There are other people out there who want to fork Bitcoin also because they've seen this. They've seen what happened to Bcash. The people were happy to get this free coin, and many people have tried to cash it out, but then again, some are hanging on to it. So I really foresee this as maybe just being a new trend, the crypto dividend trend. Will it get as big as ICOs? Will it get as big as altcoins? I don't know, but it is a unique way of distributing, of forming an altcoin and distributing it to people. So I mean, I take a positive spin on it, and a lot of other people have really jumped onto that train, this crypto dividend thing. So we'll see where it goes. But no, I'm not too worried about November when we do this 2x hard fork. There's only one Bitcoin, and don't worry about the fear, uncertainty, and doubt is what I tell people.
Okay, but you think for November we will get another crypto dividend? Is that what you think?
Yes. Yeah, because they're crazy. I mean, no, they're greedy too. I mean, they're greedy. Why not? Why not create another one? See what happens. No skin off their back. They'll flip it. There's so many newbies in the space now who just buy anything. And by the way, I'm not telling you to buy Bcash. I'm not telling you to buy 2x at all. I'm saying you're getting it for free. That's great. Sell it. Do whatever you want to it. Why buy something that you can get for free? Well, in the crypto space, many people do that. Many people are just going to buy stuff they can get for free. It's completely ridiculous. There's something called Steam out there that powers a website called Steemit, which is a good website. I mean, it's a good way to get people into cryptocurrency. But you get the Steem cryptocurrency for free. You get it for free by posting on the site. Yet you have all these people online saying, dude, buy Steem, it's completely ridiculous. Why buy something that's free? It's just, but that's what we have. And there's irrational exuberance all over the place, and it's just beginning.
Okay, so in the space, I want to ask you a couple questions about some of the advocates or emissaries that we have. Who are your top 3 picks for probably the 3 most important people that promote or move the space forward? Top 3s.
I'm biased because I mean Tone Vays is his technical analysis is excellent there. He's really spot on and just a good person if you're a Bitcoin maximalist type of person. Vinny Lingham is entrepreneur. He's into ICO on one end. He's into making predictions on another end. So he's a good all around, really, really smart person. And both of those guys you can follow on Twitter. Now, the third person, who should I say is the third person? That's it. Charlie Lee is a good guy to bring up. He is the creator of Litecoin, and he is just super honest. He even, I don't want to put words into his mouth, but he admits that Bitcoin is number 1, yet he created Litecoin. But he thinks Litecoin is the silver to Bitcoin's gold, but he is just an honest person. So when he puts something out there on Twitter or appears on a video, it's someone to listen to, definitely. So I think I covered a guy that does technical analysis, a guy who's just an entrepreneurial smart guy, and a guy who's just on the tip of the spear when it comes to just creating cryptocurrency and stuff.
Oh, yeah, those were really good picks. They weren't the mainstream guys. Like I thought for sure you'd throw an Andreas in there towards the end. Okay, now I got 2 more for you. The next is, what 3 people would you like to see exit the space, whether forcibly or otherwise? And then the final question, I'll give it to you afterwards. So give me the 3 people, your 3 picks that we want to throw out.
There are only 2 people. There are only 2 I can think of, and that's I don't even like to say their name. Well, this isn't my show, so I can say I do not say their names on my show. One is Jihan Wu, the main miner in China, who brought about this whole 2x thing, basically. And obviously, the other one is the king of the trolls, Roger Ver. I mean, the biggest troublemaker, the biggest phony, the biggest fake there is, who when people give him a platform, he just, and I gave him a platform because he cries about censorship and all this stuff. He's got it down pat. And when you give him a platform, he takes full advantage of it. Full advantage of it. What he's thinking with all this, I have no idea. Maybe he likes power. Maybe he likes attention. I'm not in his head. He was polite on my show when I had him on. I will never have him on again. I do not say his name on my show, but when we were giving those guys attention, they were totally, that was their free marketing. I mean, they had it down pat. Finally, people stopped giving them free marketing, but no. So I would love to see those two guys gone. But I'm not a person who scapegoats those. So it was a question you asked though. So if there were two people I had to have gone, it would have to be those two. Definitely.
I know. Sorry about that. I wanted to put you on the spot for fun. I thought we'd have a little fun with that. Okay,
Yeah.
so now back to reality for a second. What should we be doing as a group? We try every day. I feel like we push as hard as we can. We've got members of the state coming in. We're working with Boise State University. What should we be doing as a whole to continue moving forward? I mean, the biggest thing that I look at is we've still got a big battle ahead of us. We're going to fight the banks. We're going to change the government. What can we do as members of this ethos, the cryptocurrency and the Bitcoin ethos? What can we do to help keep it moving, keep it growing, keep adoption going?
Well, I mean, there's two different things I think you hit on there. One is in terms of we need more users. We need to make it easier. I think if you've got some technical people there, if someone can come up with Bitcoin's Netscape moment, because right now the internet is like it was in 1993. It's the Bitcoin is like the internet in 1993. It's hard to use. It's not an easy user interface. My mother just can't use it. There's no Netscape. When Netscape came around in 1995, that was a major thing. So if you're a technical person, try to make it easier for people. If you're a marketing person, just tell as many people as possible. Invite them to these events. Give Bitcoin as presents to people, to kids. I mean, my friend had a baby in 2015. And I gave him 0.1 Bitcoin, which was like 25 bucks then. So now 0.1 Bitcoin, his kid's got $400 worth of Bitcoin now. It's amazing. And his kid is going to grow up loving Bitcoin, I assume. He's 2 years old now, but he'll love it. But with little things like that, little ways of, and obviously now you want to give a 0.1, you want to just give somebody 0.1 Bitcoin unless it was like a wedding present. I don't, or a super wedding present. But you know, give it away some. But in terms of working with the establishment, I think it's important to show that most people in Bitcoin are just up to regular activities, aren't into the dark market. You know, maybe I think partnering with Boise State is a great idea because on one end they're with the people, but on one end they touch the government too. So if they see you guys are doing a great thing, you know, using the room, treating it nicely, not selling drugs out of it or whatever that people think they do with Bitcoin, it's a good impression on Boise State, and it's something that'll relay back to the government. And I'm not a person that goes around kissing the government's butt or anything like that, but just telling the truth about Bitcoin. Because right now, you know, the United States Senate has talked about weird rules with terrorism and Bitcoin and all this stuff. None of those guys know what it even is yet. None of them even knows what it is yet. So perhaps a proactive thing with some getting some local politicians involved, especially local politicians who have ambitions for higher office, getting them involved in this, inviting them to meetings, saying, hey, let's make Boise the Bitcoin capital of the United States of America. I mean, use Bitcoin as a revolutionary new tool to just increase commerce and just how it would help the city, how it would help everyone. And politicians love to jump on the fancy ideas, but this one could really happen. You know, aim high.
Well, listen, you're one of my favorite guys out there. I want to just thank you for everything you do in the space. We really appreciate you. We're going to let you go now. Guys, give a big round of applause for Adam BitcoinMeister.
Thanks, everyone.
Give me one more second. I got to get a photo with you, brother. Give me a thumbs up.
Pound that like button, people. Go to disruptmeister.com. You can find me on YouTube at BitcoinMeister, or just Google Adam Meister. You'll find
me. Oh, hang on. Wait, we got an audience question, I think, but I'm going to send out all your links at the very end of this, and we'll get everybody in contact with all your social media and websites.
Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Okay, so hang on. Someone wants to know where you're from in Baltimore.
I grew up in the Reisterstown, in the suburb of Reisterstown.
Oh, well, we got a mole in here. It's from, I think he rented the house right behind you, I think. So anyway, my brother, listen, I appreciate you coming on board. Thank you much. We love what you're doing. Yeah, give him a big round of applause, guys. All right, see you, my brother.
Bye-bye. See you guys. Thanks.
Not sure if you guys can hear me, but if you can give me a thumbs up.
Yeah, give me just a second. I'll introduce you, Ty. Hang on one second.
Okay.
I got my feedback going on here. So, everybody, this is Tai Zen. He is one of the most hardcore evangelist cryptocurrency space. So exactly opposite what we just saw. He had the first YouTube channel for cryptocurrency investing and education. Everybody give a big round of applause for Tai Zen. All right, Ty, she's yours. She's yours. Take it away, Ty.
Hey, you're making me blush, Ron. Thanks for having me here in Boise. I did try to get out there. LeonFood.com and I did try to get out there to you guys, to your meetup and be there live in person and check out the solar eclipse, but it was kind of last minute, and so that was kind of tough. You know what I'm saying?
We'll bring another eclipse back for you if you promise to come out.
Yeah, we'll do that. You know, we're living the RV lifestyle now, so we'll probably drive up there in an RV or something and check out the landscape up there because you guys got some beautiful countryside up there. So
I got to tell you, yeah, we'd love to have you. So we just had the BitMeister on board, and can you tell us kind of what separates, what sets you apart from what he's doing and what the other guys are doing? What truly is different about what you guys do in both on YouTube but also on your website?
Okay, so we run myself and my trading buddy LeonFood.com, and that's what I do call him too, by the way. People always ask me, do I actually call him that in person, in private? And I said, yeah. So so myself and LeonFood.com, we run the cryptocurrency market channel. We've been doing it since 2013, so we were one of the first people on the internet to broadcast about cryptocurrency investing and about making life-changing money and life-changing profits over there. And what separates our channel from most of the other channels out there, Ron, is that we focus specifically on cryptocurrency investing and how to make money from cryptocurrency. There's two major groups, and just so your audience knows in case they're new to cryptocurrency, there's two major groups of people out there in cryptocurrency world. One are what I call the technologists and the philosophers, and they talk about, on their channels, they tend to talk about how the cryptocurrency technology is going to change the world and revolutionize the world and stuff. And we talk a little bit about that too, but I'm not going to be bashful. We're in it to make money. So when we look at a cryptocurrency project, we look at it as we analyze it like we do the stock market or the futures market or the commodities market or the Forex market. And we look at it as, hey, how can this help us make money, right? And help our lives. So
okay, so can I ask you a question about that? So if you analyze it like the stocks, when we get a stock, you've got a balance sheet, you've got a P&L, you've got a historical history with the CEOs, all sorts of media. Is it a challenge to gather that data, or are we looking at completely different data sets to do cryptocurrency analysis?
We will be heading towards that route eventually once the Securities and Exchange Commission or the CFTC or the FinCEN. If anyone's listening in, because I tweeted you guys out to everyone, and in case someone listens to this later on in the future, those are the government financial regulatory agencies that govern how the financial markets work in the U.S. And I believe that once they have some guidelines, not so much laws, but guidelines and regulatory guidelines for these cryptocurrency projects and how they raise money and stuff, I think that when that happens, what's going to happen is that the cryptocurrency projects are going to move towards, and the ones that are legitimate are going to move towards compliance, just like any other company or anything else. Right now, it's hard for them to do it because there's no guidelines for them, and a lot of them are trying to do what they can. Like, for example, on our channel, we hire former securities lawyers to guide us and make sure that what we do and what we say on our channel are compliant with American regulations. So that we don't get in trouble. Even though there's no regulations available, we still try to meet or exceed it in our business. So, and that's what we do, is that we're more of a investing channel, and some of these other channels, for example, like they don't broadcast anymore, but like Let's Talk Bitcoin or World Crypto Network, channels like that are, in my opinion, more technology channels. So.
Okay, so here we go. Let's get in the meat and gravy of this thing. Let's talk about Bitcoin. We recently had a fork. It is almost, the space is huge. There's a lot of coins out there, but really what it comes down to is Bitcoin and the rest of the market, the rest of the cryptocurrencies. Give us a little bit of your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking. What are your plans? What are your aspirations? What do you see?
Okay, so when I first got into Bitcoins back in the end of 2012, Bitcoin was, I thought I was working at an energy brokerage firm in Dallas, and the energy brokerage firm had a Bitcoin mining division there, and they were building out all these miners. And since I was Asian, they asked me if I knew anybody in China that could make these ASIC chips. They weren't stereotyping or nothing, okay, but they wanted to get an advantage, and and I had mentioned that I had some friends, roommates that used to live with me in Austin, and now they're in China, and they're like, hey, can these guys, do they know anybody that manufactures ASIC chips to mine these Bitcoins? And I actually thought that it was a scam. And I actually got their white paper, and I sent it to my computer programming software engineer buddy, leonfu.com, and I asked him to verify and let me know what parts of this is a scam, so I can go back and tell the energy brokerage firm that these guys are getting scammed. And I called him up a couple of days later, and instead of telling me why Bitcoin's a scam, he went out and bought a bunch of Bitcoins himself. And he was like, dude, this is going to change the financial world and revolutionize Wall Street and the financial industry. And I didn't think anything of it. But then when he sent me some fractions of a Bitcoin, and I saw how fast it settled, I asked him, I said, hey, is this going, when can I send it back out? And he goes, it's already cleared and settled. And I said, what do you mean? It takes like 2 weeks for a bank or a broker to settle transactions. And he said, no, it's already settled. You can send it back to me. And I'm like, no way. There's no way that you just sent me a Bitcoin and this just settled and it's good to go and I can use it. And he said, yeah, it's good. And so we tested a few more times. And after that, I said, I can't believe this, that you can send 50, 100, $1 million for fractions of a penny. And anybody can do it for free without any bank accounts, without any ID checks or anything, and anybody in the world can do this? And he goes, yeah. So at that point, I put my whole life savings into Bitcoin at that time. And, it wasn't much. I was not a millionaire or anything like that, but I put it in there. And it's unfortunate that I put all that in there. And, obviously I did well with it. I'm retired now, so in case in the back of your mind, you're wondering, how well this guy's doing or whatever. Yeah, so I am retired. And so what I'm doing now is I look at, like, I made a transaction yesterday I just shared with you offline, Ron, earlier. I had to pay $10.68 to make that transaction. And it's like, you know, I looked at it and I even tweeted out that if I had encountered this Bitcoin network in 2012 or 2013, I'd never even pay attention to it because there was nothing fascinating about it. You know, it's slow and it costs $10.68. I did a test transaction with a fellow YouTuber and I sent him just a little bit of fraction of a Bitcoin, and it costs like, you know, if you put it in the wallet, it shows that it costs almost $1 to send $1. And to me, that's not what Bitcoin was about. So we have this issue with Bitcoin right now, in case anyone's there that's new, where on August 1st, there was two parties that are competing to control Bitcoin, and they have different views and ideologies of how the Bitcoin software needs to be updated. And when there's this huge dispute, and on August 1st, it's split. So one Bitcoin is called Bitcoin and the other one is called Bitcoin Cash. And so now there's division among the people that like to use Bitcoin of which one they want. The one that's called Bitcoin is worth about $4,000 right now, and the one that's called Bitcoin Cash is worth, last time I checked, it was close to $700. So there's a division. So what originally pushed Bitcoin forward, in my opinion, the Bitcoin fans, the diehard Bitcoin fans in the crypto world are known as Bitcoin maximalists. They're the ones, and the libertarians are the ones who adopted Bitcoin first, and they're the ones who pushed Bitcoin into the mainstream. But in my opinion, they're also the same ones that are stalling Bitcoin right now. And I would say that's a huge accusation to make, you know, because I have lots of friends. BitcoinMeister, I consider him a friend, you know. He guests vlogs on our channel quite often. And so we have different views of Bitcoin, you know. He believes that Bitcoin should be the main cryptocurrency, and I'm more of a cryptocurrency maximalist. You know, I want cryptocurrency, the technology, to replace the current financial technologies that we currently use. And in myself and our team, we originally started out as Bitcoin maximalists, but then we realized that there's no telling which blockchain is going to win, or which blockchain is going to be adopted by the mainstream public, or a group of blockchains will be adopted. So because of that, we had to switch and adapt our views. So now we look at more of, we just want cryptocurrencies to revolutionize the financial industry, and we want it so that the mainstream media uses it, the mainstream public uses it, and not just have this infighting in Bitcoin constantly that's creating confusion with people that are new to cryptocurrencies. So,
okay, so I've got a couple questions that I want to ask you. I'm going to throw them fast at you. So
okay.
The first is, I'm really impressed with that all-in story. I want to go all-in tomorrow. Tell me the top 3 cryptocurrencies. I'm going to liquidate everything, including this mustache.
Oh, man. I can't do that because, well, one of the things that we paid a lot of money to our securities lawyers. We have several lawyers, and they monitor everything we're doing, you know. And so one of the things they told us that we are not allowed to say what cryptocurrency that we are we cannot make recommendations to the public, you know. And there's no law against that. They just want to make guidelines that, you know. If you ask me what I'm in, you know, like, hey, are you in this XYZ crypto? I can answer yes or no. You know what I'm saying? So
the list would be too big. We'll be here all night. All right. So how about instead you just write it on a piece of paper and hold it up the screen so you don't have to say it?
Well, here's what I do say to everybody. You know, full disclosure and disclaimer: anything we talk about on our channel, somebody on our team, we put money into what we talk about. So that's all. So
okay, so here's the hard questions. Okay, give me the top 3 guys that you love in the space. The 3 probably the most important people that we can't do without in the space that help promote, you know, increase adoption, build new technology, whatever. Give me your top 3 favorite picks.
Top 3. First one is undisputed is Andreas Antonopoulos. Anyone that knows anything about Bitcoin has learned something from Andreas Antonopoulos, and I appreciate the fact that he's going around and teaching it, and not just him teaching it, but he has a very unique way of taking a very complicated technical concept and breaking it down so that regular folks like us on Main Street can understand it. So he's the first one. The second one I would say is somebody that is no longer broadcasting because of this Bitcoin fiasco, right? Is James D'Angelo. He used to run a channel called the World Bitcoin Network, and him and James and Andreas Antonopoulos were in my opinion, the undisputed two guys that taught all the early Bitcoiners about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Like if anybody that has been in cryptocurrency since, the beginning, right? You can tell how soon they got into cryptocurrency. They know who James D'Angelo and Andreas Antonopoulos is. And then right now, the third, you said most influential, most...
Your pick, dealer's choice.
I would say, I'm not going to say our channel because, obviously that would be biased. But I would say that Omar Bam's channel, he runs a channel called Crypto with a 0 at the end instead of an O. And I think that out of all the cryptocurrency broadcasters, he's one of the few guys that I would listen to and pay attention to. And the guy is like a machine. I mean, he just cranks out videos after videos after videos. I mean, the guy is like a 24-hour, like, I was going to say CNN, but I didn't want to be derogatory. Like a Bloomberg, he's his channel is like a 24-hour Bloomberg channel, a one-man Bloomberg channel, man. So those are the three I would think that are the ones that really help people learn about cryptocurrencies when they first come in. So that's what I would say.
Okay, and then I've got one final question. We'll see if the audience has any questions, then we'll let you go. What three people?
I'm not in a rush, okay, Ron? So just so you know, I'm not in a rush.
We are the liquor store is closing here in about 15 minutes.
All right.
So we got to run to the border. So the top three people that you would throw the hell out of the space. That's a hard one, I know.
Okay, so like I said, we have lawyers monitor what we're doing, So
you don't have to if you don't want to. It's a fun one.
But I'm not going to say one person, okay? So because there's not like one person. There's one person I would definitely throw out of the crypto community and just erase any memory of crypto in his mind, but I'm not going to say who it is. But there are some groups of people that are, in my opinion, too Bitcoin diehard. Okay, they're too, and they can't see the forest for the trees, whatever the old American expression is, and they can't see that it would benefit the entire community and it would benefit Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and everyone a lot more if we did not have this infighting to try to promote Bitcoin as the only currency, as the only cryptocurrency. We should promote the industry and the sector and not just one specific cryptocurrency just because it came out first. That would be like us trying to promote the Ford Model T or whatever the first Ford was that was the assembly line vehicle. That to me, that just doesn't make sense. So that would be the main group of people that I would throw out.
Okay, we got a couple audience questions. Housen, you go first.
Okay.
Dan Larimer, what's your opinion?
Dan Larimer, I mean, he's got a track record of building a ton of successful crypto projects. He started out with BitShares, and he started out with Steemit, and now he's doing, I think the latest one he's doing is like EOS or something. I think that's the one. But a lot of people, there's two sides, two opinions of him, public opinions of him, I think. One is that they think that he's a bad dude. Because he's building all these projects, right? And it's turning out to be like billion-dollar projects. And then there's a group of people like myself who we really don't care. We don't know him personally, don't care. I mean, the guy is good at building cryptocurrency projects, So there's a guy, the bald guy, I think he's from Canada, that's on Shark Tank. I saw an interview with him one time. I forget what his name is, but it's a bald guy. And he said that they interviewed him one time about Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies, I think. And he said that, you can't ignore something when it gets to $1 billion because there's not too many things in life that there's not too many things that you can do where a human being can build it up to be worth $1 billion. So and he was talking about Bitcoin too, by the way. He said, hey, when this project gets to $1 billion, it's worth paying attention to. So the question about Dan Larimer is, you know, all these projects he's working on, are they legit? Are they for real or whatever, you know? I mean, like a guy from Shark Tank said, once it gets to $1 billion value, then it warrants paying attention to.
Okay, and final question. This one might be a little long. Tell us about transaction speed across the space, like maybe the best coin for quick movement or max capacity. Like, what are you eyeballing that you're impressed with?
As far as transaction speed?
Sure. Just let's keep it kind of transaction.
I mean, like transaction speed, BitShares is one of the fastest blockchains out there that I know of. So.
Okay, one more coming.
You must have a bunch of Dan Larimer fans there, because these are like.
Yeah, we just had Michael Taggart speak last month, so they're all ammoed up and ready to go.
Oh, okay. And the gentleman I was talking about is Kevin O'Leary, Craig Mason from he's from, I think, y'all's neighborhood, neck of the woods. He also broadcasts about cryptocurrencies. From Boise, Idaho. He has the Craig Mason channel on YouTube. So he said that the Canadian that I was talking about from Shark Tank is Kevin O'Leary. So.
All right, I got another question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what do you think is going to be one of the first billion-dollar coins that's not its own blockchain? So like the next upcoming coin that's going to reach up into the billion-dollar range that isn't, you know, because most of the other ones are just their own blockchains that are getting up in the billions of dollars. What do you think is coming up that's going to be a billion-dollar coin that's not its own blockchain? And then on top of that, do you think in the near future, and if you can guess when, do you see Bitcoin dominance going below 25%? And do you think that's going to happen soon, or you think that's going to be really far away? And that's it.
Okay, so I'll try to answer them as I remember them. Bitcoin dominance, that's something that I used to tweet out a lot earlier this year. And yes, I believe that it'll fall below 25%. That's like, to me, that's like an easy one. If I had a bet on it, I would bet on that all day long. You know, that's an easy one for me to put money on, that it'll go below 5%. That doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that there's other cryptocurrency projects that are going to come out and do just as good or close to it or better. You know, and then the other one that you asked about, which one that's not its own blockchain that's going to reach $1 billion. I'm looking at the CoinMarketCap list right here, the top 100 cryptocurrencies based on their market cap, and the approach that it's going to be hard to say that. You know what I'm saying? Because no one, I mean, we're good cryptocurrency investors and everything. We retired from cryptocurrency investing and everything. But even then, it's still, you would have to take more than one shot to get the one that gets it. So there's like, if you're asking me for one where you just lay your life savings onto it, that's extremely difficult. Now, it was easy for me to do that back when Bitcoin was around, back in 2012, 2013, simply because it was the first one, and it was the main one that just dominated, like the entire market cap was based around Bitcoin. So the market conditions have changed now, because now there's other competitors and big players that's coming in with lots of money to build their project. Keep in mind that Bitcoin started with on a volunteer basis. I mean, there's projects now that have $50, $100, $150 million to build their software. And according to my my business partner, LeonFood.com, you know, he says that all it takes is about $3 or $5 million to build a software before you realize if it works or not. So why somebody needs $50 or $100 million, we don't exactly know, but that means that they have a crap load of money to make that software successful. So there's, I mean, a lot of these new cryptocurrencies that's coming out right now have a huge advantage over a Bitcoin simply because they have a ton of money to make it successful. Like, I mean, if one of you guys in there in the room right now have $100 million and you were told to go make this, you know, take one of these 850 cryptocurrencies and make it successful, I'm sure you would figure out how to make it successful if somebody gave you $100 million, you know, so So that's how I look at it. I hope that I hope I didn't miss anything.
Okay, so they're still bugging you. They still want the pick, and then we got one more question for you.
So we're just curious, which percentage of your holdings are in Bitcoin, and what is
less than 0.5%? Less than 0.5%.
All right, so Tai Zen, listen, I want to tell you thank you very much for coming out and speaking with us today. We hope to get you up here to Boise, especially if it's not for the next eclipse, maybe before then.
Yeah.
I want to say I appreciate all you're doing in the space. You send me any links, and I'll broadcast out to our whole group. And if you don't come up here, I'll come down to Austin and visit you. Tai Zen, hey, guys, big round of applause. Big round of applause for Tai Zen. Thank you, Tai.
Yeah, thanks for having me here tonight, guys.
Thank you, my brother.
All right.
I'll be in touch with you shortly. Thank you.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it, Ron. Thanks for having me here today.
See you, bud.